Let's face it, dogs tend to sleep in some strange situations, and some of them can be very comical. Whether your dog is sleeping on the couch, in bed with you, or using your feet as your favorite pillow, you've probably wondered if your sleeping positions can reveal something about the dog's personality. As it happens, the phrase "tell me how your dog sleeps, and I'll tell you something about them." The cliche may contain a grain of truth. Dogs sleep several hours a day, and like us, their sleep goes through different cycles. What point do they get into during their sleep cycle can make a huge difference in terms of the sleep position of their choice. Also, small things such as ambient temperature, how the dog feels, and its overall activity level can affect the position where it sleeps. Paying attention to these small details can help you learn more about your dog. Yes, you can already deduce some things about the dog simply by watching how they sleep. While your dog's sleeping mode won't tell you personal things like who your best friend is in the dog park or their favorite brand, there may be important reasons why you choose one sleeping mode over the other. This is a fun, general guide to dog sleeping positions. Of course, as with everything a dog, no rules can be written in stone, so if the dog sleeps in a certain position, it can be simply because they like it. 1. Dead cockroach position. Does your dog sleep with his feet in the air? I like to call this dead cockroach attitude because it reminds me of those dead cockroaches in which they stumble on the sidewalks hours after the exterminator stops. Just as mattresses have a summer and winter attitude, dogs have certain seasonal sleeping positions that depend on the degree of cold or heat. The sleeping position of the dead dog rocket is very popular on summer dog days when your dog is in dire need of cooling by exposing his belly to air cooling. This may seem like a ridiculous situation to sleep, but the dog knows what to do. If you take a good look at your dog's belly, you will notice how in your belly there are areas that are not covered by fur. This means that by exposing his abdomen to air, he gives himself a better chance of calming down quickly compared to other sleeping sites. But that's not all people. Exposing the bottom of the paws to air is also another smart strategy, considering that this is where the dog's sweat glands are located. This sleeping dog situation may reveal something more than telling you that the dog feels hot. A dog that sleeps in the position of a dead cockroach is usually a dog that feels safe in its environment. Why? For the simple fact, when dogs sleep on their backs, they become more vulnerable to the environment around them, as it takes more effort to return on their legs if they need to move away quickly in the presence of a threat. Yes, it takes some confidence to sleep this way. Your dog will likely feel in a safe haven, surrounded by people he trusts when he sleeps that way. Note, some dogs in this position may sleep on the wall. Contact with the surface of the cold surface of the wall is likely to be good, but moreover, perhaps such dogs that can use the wall crane in case they need to get up quickly and return to their feet. 2. Snowball position. Does your dog sleep well in a ball? In what I like to call sleeping mode in a snowball, this is a position that often appears in cats, but it is very common in dogs as well. A dog in a sleeping position in a snowball sleeps from nose to side with its own curved spine. This is one of the favorite late autumn and winter sleeping sites for a nap. Why is that? For a simple fact that this sleeping position ultimately helps the dog to maintain heat. However, putting sleeping in a snowball tells you more than your dog feels cold and would like to stay warm and comfortable. This sleeping position is similar to the fetal sleep mode visible to humans, and therefore it indicates that the dog is trying to protect itself. This attitude to sleep is reminiscent of the old days when puppies were dogs and used to sleep in a den. Thus, a tight rolling position not only helps the dog to stay warm, but also helps keep weak organs out of reach of any of the dangerous predators. So just as indicated in the fetal sleeping position in humans, sleeping position in a snowball refers to a dog looking for safety and comfort. Margaret Grine, a board-certified veterinary behavior specialist, explains that sometimes this can be seen in a new dog or puppy that is a bit unsafe about its environment and may try to adapt. Unlike the sleeping position in cockroaches, sleeping positions in the snowball allow the dog to be fast on its feet if necessary. So does this mean that this sleeping position means that the dog feels insecure? Not necessarily. As in humans, dogs come with their own quirks and small characters, and there are no rules written on stone. Your dog may sleep this way for the fact that he feels good. As comfortable as sleeping in a snowball as it sounds, consider it one of the least restorative positions. When dogs sleep, their muscles become narrow, which interferes with their ability to slide into the most corrective sleep phase, the REM phase, explains veterinarian Dr. Karen Baker. When dogs sleep in the wild, especially when it's cold, they'll dig up a nest and wrinkle in it. This gives them warmth. Tucking into the ball saves body heat. It also protects their weakest organs in the abdomen from potential predators. 3. The pancake position. Does your dog sleep on his side with his legs stretched? I like to call this sleeping dog attitude pie. It is as if the dogs were leveled on the ground. This is one of those sleeping situations where sleeping dogs should let sleep lie. Of course, no dog should be bothered when sleeping. But this is where things get more serious because this is the most convenient sleeping position for everyone, and it is the one where REM sleeps is more likely to happen. A sleeping dog in this situation is looking for a dangerous sleep and most likely prefers to be left alone. Senior Rottweiler periodically have neck problems, and the first days he experiences severe pain when he waits for the pain kick to begin. Neck pain prevents him from being able to sleep on his side, which means that for a day and a half he sleeps in other, less restorative situations. You can clearly see how eccentric and exhausted get when he misses his most restored sleep. As with cockroach mode, a dog in the sleeping position in a pie is also comfortable in its surroundings. He knows that he is in a deep sleep in this position, so he will likely choose an area where he feels safe. Getting back on his feet from this position also requires some effort. Many dogs begin to relax in other sleeping positions, and then when they feel comfortable and safe enough, they will roll to their sides to spend some dangerous deep sleep. Did you know, as in humans, the REM sleep portion is important given that it is part of the sleep cycle during which stress is resolved. As Paul Owens explains in The Whisper Dog, a sympathetic and nonviolent approach to dog training. Dogs that all sleep should keep their muscles tense and therefore less relaxed than dogs that stretch outside when they sleep and less likely to prick in their sleep. 4. Sphinx sleeping position. I like to call this attitude the sleeping position of the Sphinx for the simple fact that reminds me of the old days that passed at the dog training school. My dog trainers wanted to train us to train our dogs to do a landing in the Sphinx position, which meant that their front legs should have been straight in front of them with their hind legs placed below. Why was this situation so important? Because he allowed dogs to quickly race to work as soon as we called them. So what does this sleeping situation tell you about your dog? He tells you that he is ready to get up on his legs. Not a lot of dogs really sleep in this position. He did my Rottweiler for a day when he was suffering from neck pain but asked for a pillow in front of him for support as his head kept tilting to the side that was painful for him. He really didn't get to sleep other than very light sleep. This is often a transitional attitude taken by dogs who are little unsure of their surroundings or unsure of what to do next. Should I fall asleep or prepare in case something happens? If nothing big happens, the dog may feel sleepy and decide to exercise next to it to spend some serious sleep. But if he sees that you are holding the leash or opening the refrigerator, he may quickly run on his legs in the hope of having a friend. 5. Superman's position. I like to call this position Superman, with the front legs stretched away. It seems that the dogs are about to board the plane and climb it upwards. This sleeping mode is one that gives a lot of muffled laughter and is often seen on social media. What does this sleeping position tell you about your dog? First of all, just like the position of cockroaches, it tells you that the dog is likely to feel the heat. It may be a hot day or your dog is completely hot from exercising. Either way, this time your dog's belly is exposed to cold tiles, a hard floor or wet grass that feels comfortable considering that your dog's belly has areas that lack fur. This situation may also tell you that the dog is likely to be tired. Often you will see a puppy playing a lot and then doing a step or two and then writhing on the floor. A man's comfortable position is not a comfortable location for dangerous sleep, but it may work well for a short nap if the dog is already tired. It is somewhat similar to that of the Sphinx, except that this position also allows your dog to run at work as needed. He may not make a trip, but he happily pleases in preparation for further actions. That's all for dog sleeping positions. How does your dog like to sleep? Have you noticed anything interesting about his sleep? Feel free to share your experiences in the comments section.